I'm a sucker for, I'm a sucker for taut storytelling. I like time travel junk, well fleshed out characters, etc., etc., and tales that are free of all the divisive shit that we see today in the programming. Case in point, this is what passes for a detective in the future, according to the programming these days. You can look up the writer to this jazz, and some of you might already sat through this. It's trite, it's horrible, but I'm going to see the whole thing through. I shouldn't, but I'm going to. Look up Bodies. It's a Netflix show, and I forgot the name of the writer, but just the same. This is what passes for a detective in the future, and you'll probably see something else in the left hand. What a coincidence. I mean, it's so on the nose. Most people don't understand it, though. You could think of Taurus as well, among other things. You could think of as above, so below, but usually you only see somebody throw it with one hand. If you've ever seen Forrest Gump and you watch closely after he gives Jenny his medal, look closely at what the medal symbolizes. It doesn't come up nearly enough. But when Forrest Gump throws the symbol of, the cross of Nero having to do with victory, one hand goes up and the other hand goes down because it's as above, so below. But most people don't understand that. And that's why you see Baphomet or Jesus. That's why you see Buddha doing the true symbol for peace, as above, so below. But usually you're only shown one because that's how our masters work. They only show you one hand, quite literally. You watch this, Jazz. This is, I think, it's obviously season 1, is what I should have already said, and it's episode 4. This is maybe halfway, 3/4 the way through, and it's before they're going to pour some wine, and she threw that out there. Also remember, this is an Israeli actress. And this entire show is divisive. I'd like to rattle off the other characters, but this video would probably be flagged because almost anything I say on TikTok these days is flagged immediately. Yeah. But fuck it. So you got one gal wearing a turban, which I don't have anything against, but based on the other characters, it just seems like they just check some fucking boxes. You got this meek gal that weighs maybe 50 pounds, wet at best, and she looks like she's sickly as fuck. I mean, she's supposed to have something else, an infirmment. But she's also an active duty detective that's going to save the fucking day. And she's currently protecting somebody. It's asinine. You got another character who he openly states it. I mean, he's Jewish. He's also Jewish. And then you got another character who you can tell the moment you see this shit, like the moment you see this shit on the fucking screen, you know that it's gonna be gay propaganda. You know that's why it's there. It's just like watching that episode of The Last of Us, the pointless episode that was in truth well done, quite beautiful, but it didn't serve the story whatsoever. It's different from the game, and it didn't need to be in there. It shouldn't have been in there, and the only reason it was in there is because it's divisive propaganda. Simple as that. But as always, what the fuck do I know? Apparently, I got a big mouth, and I want to tell you about things that reflect reality and, draw some conclusions, analyze and interpret, a whole bunch of other shit. But I'm being lazy with my words because most people probably won't see this anyway. Most people don't care when they do because most people buy into agendas instead of looking into them. And that's why agendas have legs and why things are horrible and exponentially getting worse. But what the fuck do I know? Again, this programming's titled Bodies. And that's just a coincidence.